Welcome back to Finnegan's Farm, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and welcome back to Workshop Wednesday. My name is Paul, and this is our team.
Hello, I'm Mick, and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Kaylem Russell, and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Sean, I'm the apprentice mechanic.
Hello, my name is Marco. I love to weld. This is Bruce, this is Blake. Them two best students.
Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos, and comment if you want, and we will get back to you. In for repair today we have our Manitou, we also have a Steyr, John Deere 6930, the Rotovator, and again the Ford Ranger's in for a little bit of TLC. Just before we get started, I want you to draw attention to the Knobber show, which takes place on Sunday the 21st of May. It's an All-Ireland qualifier competition for, you have a cattle section, sheep section, and we have a home industry section. So a great day to be had by all families there. Everyone just get down to Knobber on the 21st of May. First of all, I'm going to head over to Kaylem. Cheers, Kaylem. I don't know how you get so dirty now. You were absolutely spotless this morning before you came in.
Nice clean clothes when you out of the washing machine, and sure, look at me now. It was only a couple of hours later.
Anyway, oh yeah.
It's unreal. So we're servicing this Manitou, so it's 5,800 hours. It's getting a 1,000-hour service, which is all the oils, filters, everything that has to be done. Now the hydraulic oil will have to be done in the next service, but it'll have to be done regardless. But everything going well, normal routine service, and then pull the bung with the transmission, and we have plenty of little needle, like roller bearings out of a needle. It's actually out of a thrust washer that's been in the transmission. Now, at the minute, like, I drove in here fine. No one had any complaints about noises or anything like that. But Jared from Midloud anyways says that when that bearing will collapse, you won't notice any symptoms for a while, and then it will start to come into it.
So that's what, a 2-day job, I'd say.
Yeah, that's 2 days with help, he says, and he'd have it out and repaired and back in.
So we'll go in and we'll have a look there. We're going to check the bung to see exactly what's on the bung. It's magnetic and all the bits have stuck to it. Now there's the service kit for it, and that's his. That's a handy little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a fantastic tool just for gripping filters. So it'll go out wide like that, and then as you try to say loosen it off, it'll close in tighter and you get a good solid grip.
Especially for them filters that's up.
Yeah, because you can put
ones
that
that's hidden above in the.
I've plenty of them on this machine anyway. None of them in nice positions, but anyways, that's just part of it.
Right, we'll have a look at the bungs. This is what came out of was stuck to the bung.
And the suction screen, and so we had to take out the two of them to find out what was in it, because we'd only found a couple of bits of metal and maybe 3 or 4 little needle rollers in the bung. We took out the suction screen. It's fairly obvious that that's
a cage is it?
It used to be a cage of truss
some sort. And here are your little needle roller bearings.
Yeah, and if it was 2 or 3 inches in diameter, we definitely have over half or 3/4 of the little needle rollers anyway. But yeah, I think we'll have to do something with that now as the next thing, because
many hours in it?
It's 5,800, so it's done a spree, and for a little bearing, it's not.
No, it hasn't caused any issues so far, but again, as you say, it's not today, it's not tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's somewhere down the line that this could give a problem, and maybe sort it out now rather than.
Because with the likes of that, you could go on for the sake of seals, bearings, parts, labour. It's not much now, money, but if it was to wreck a shaft or other gears, stuff like that, that's when it starts doubling and tripling the money, the cost of the job. So.
Okay, so that's the joys of motoring, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So Sean here just given the Rotovator a bit of a wash. As you can see, loads of twines there, and the Rotovators, they're great yokes for gathering twines, in all fairness. And generally what happens is some of the fields that we be walking in, especially maybe around the farm and that, where the dung is spread out, you'll have lots of twines in the dung, and then eventually the twines get wrapped. Twines or net wrap or anything, wire or anything like that will gather around them. Now it's very important that we clean them, so we're going to wash them. I'm going to cut the twines off it. Yeah. So we had a little bit of play here in this bearing after the first day's work, and we just had to take it out of it and put new bearings, idler bearings on them, because there was a little bit of play on the shaft. Bearing was a couple of balls gone on the bearing, wasn't it?
Well, it was well wore, Paul.
Yeah, it was well wore, so we just had to take it out and put 2 new bearings in them. Now, these initially, when we got them first, were oil filled with oil, but that didn't last long, and they've retrofitted them now to just putting a bearing and a grease nipple on them. So that's what we've done there. Sean has taken them asunder and put new bearings on both sides and there on the idle side. Yeah. So hopefully now that should keep her going for the season. And we need to keep the twine over too, Sean, don't we?
We do, yeah.
That's very important.
Wherever Marco is, Bruce is never far away.
I think the Ford Ranger has been in most Workshop Wednesday videos for some reason, but it's still in again for the last couple of weeks. Now,
Back and forth,
back
you
and
know,
forth,
all
we
the
had a
time.
few intermittent problems. Mick has replaced. Mick, what have you done there?
On this, it has recirculating ball type steering, which means you have a linkage going across, and then you have neither arm here. The bushings were absolutely knackered on this, how it was steering, because you were getting about, I think about 4 or 5 inches of play in the wheel, remember? I also replaced 2 CV boots and seal on the hub and anti-roll bar links and rubbers.
So it's in for DOE in the next couple of weeks, and we just want to get these few little items sorted before we bring it in, because hopefully now you know your stuff. If you go into a DOE, you don't really know what you're facing, but if you can get the obvious ones sorted. So we'd all the steering sorted, took it for a spin, and lo and behold, what came up? Only an engine management light. So we have Kaylem here with his new piece of software. He's in there with the snap-on diagnostics, hiding there, trying to sort it out. Now it's given, what could it be, Mick? There's two.
Well, I scanned it with an old yoke I have. It threw up MAF sensor faulty, map sensor faulty, and a bariometric sensor faulty. We thought that's the MAF over there now we've discovered. That's the MAP, manifold absolute pressure, because you've boost in there.
And that's manifold, no, that's
Mass airflow.
Mass airflow.
Yeah, it's
So
confusing
that's
with the whole lot.
MAP and MAP.
Yeah, but I'd just like to be sure that they are what we think they are.
So if you weren't getting enough airflow, obviously it's going to throw on the fault.
I'm not sure on that. Normally that just measures what's flowing in, and then from that and the map sensor, it'll calculate the quantity of fuel being
But
injected.
this was carbonized. You
Oh, it
took
was
this
rotten,
one out.
yeah. Heart check. Heart check.
So that's clean, but you put it back in. But
Yeah, but I don't know, is cleaning recommended or does it work, or
do we have to get a new sensor for it?
Yeah,
So it
possibly.
could be a pressure sensor, or it could be,
both?
God knows.
All right?
Kaylem Russell, you're freaking the life of him, Mick, there.
I didn't. You jumped higher than I did.
Well, Mick is making plenty of noise there, so I can't really talk. Mick,
His own wall.
2 minutes, yeah, I'm waiting 2 minutes there. I think the minute he seen us there, he started up. Kaylem 6930 is in for a little bit of repair. Now, we had him the destoner the other day. Now, I actually noticed as well, had it there, was destoned, done a run or two for you. You were doing another job.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a little bit of movement on the linkage there on the destoner.
Yeah.
Said it to Kaylem. Kaylem noticed it as well.
Yeah,
Said that
I'd tighten them up
You
more
tighten
than
your
once.
arms more than once, but again, a fairly common fault with the John Deere's on the half axle is the studs
Just pulling the
pulling
treads
the
out.
threads down.
And even the back far side where the bolt hole is, it broke the cast now. But now it's broke out of that a while because it's pure rusty. It was not fresh from that job.
So what's that? Is there two bolts holding that on?
There's 3 bolts.
Three, yeah.
There's 2
Some
at the
of
front and
yeah,
one in the back in the middle.
Initially, originally they had 2 bolts, and then you could get another bracket very similar to that,
Yeah.
but had an extra hole in it it was a reinforcement, so you could put 3 holes in it, or 3 bolts in it.
Yeah.
Now it was bent and it was pulled.
Yeah, so it only there this morning. I said I'd pull it in, and I was just sick of it. I was going to tighten it up and leave it once and for all. And we had it set perfect, drove it around the yard. The same thing again, and then we looked, and there was the bracket.
These
bent
are
down.
the bolts out of it.
Yeah, so, well, not that one. The front bolt was missing, gone. Like
Right.
it pulled threads out of it, fell out. And this one was in the back left-hand side, and there was only about 20 mil of it up into the actual half axle, so
Yeah.
it wasn't holding much. And it pulled them threads clean out of it. And then that bolt was in the back far corner, and it was the only one that stayed, so it bent around that one bolt.
But not alone is it the bracket for the stabiliser, it's also attached here to the cab suspension as
Yeah.
well. So
It can't be ignored.
It can't be ignored, you just can't do it out. So otherwise the cab will be tilted off to one side. So at least we have 3 new bolts in it there,
Yeah.
kind of tapped out, and hopefully now it doesn't do a whole lot of work, but sometimes maybe an implement on it, and when the stabiliser or when the arms are loose and it gets a slap on it, that's when actually causes the harm. So it might be done in its previous life, it might have been just us. But,
Yeah. Because that plate was fitted to it differently. Because on this side it's the original with the 2 bolts,
Yeah.
whereas that one, which had the lump broke out of it, and the bigger plate put on, it had happened to someone else at the previous stage. So we're not looking.
And that was only the first year you went out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's what happens. So these are extra plates, inner plates, we say, they're acting as spacers there to keep the arms tight.
Yes. So we have an entire wear plate down the side of the back of the machine, and these little plates just sit. Well, this one here sits in on the inside of the arm. So once you have the two of them stepped out enough, it will pull the arms out wider and wider. But we have to shim them up properly, so we have 10 mil steel plate here. Yeah. We're just going to do 2 holes in. Nice square plate. It's fairly simple.
And on these ones here, as you can see, the hole is recessed, so the bolt goes in here, so it actually doesn't ever hit the bolt, the head of the bolt. When it hits, it's hitting the side of the
wear plate.
Side of the wear plate, yeah. And these are just acting as a. Well, you marked them fairly well, didn't you? Like 2 eyes looking out at you there. Look.
I can't take the credit for that now anyway, Sean, but anyway.
That's the job for Sean, isn't it?
Exactly. But look, it'll work well. It'll take the pressure off the stabilisers regardless. It had to be fixed for the cab suspension, but we'll just do it this way for, take it out of it.
I decided to do a bit of rigging on Sunday, above all days, in between the showers. Yeah, done the first run up and down the field. What happened? No air condition. Absolutely melt you in this shokes of wood. So I said, that's enough of that. Brought her back. Mick reckons it could be something simple as a fuse. Of course, it has all these little mini fuses on them, and you'd want to have eyes with binoculars there to see if it was gone or not. And many fuses in there, Mick? A lot. Mick has the multimeter. Mick, when you're checking these, what is the easiest way to check to see if a fuse is gone or not?
Depends if the fuse is, if you can get in on the back of the fuse, put the meter on it, should have 12 volts both sides of the fuse. If you have, it's good. If not, you got to pull them and you got to go on meter.
Now it does show us here on the back of the panel when you take it off, but the problem with all that, it's so confusing that thing at times, isn't it? There's so many on it and they're so small to get at, and it's just not in the handiest of positions either. It is down here underneath it. So this is the way we're going to check the fuse. Mick has earth there on the negative.
Shiny, nice and shiny.
Nice and shiny, yeah. I have 11.9, so that's 12 volts.
That's
yeah.
That's the other side.
11.9.
Yeah, that's a fuse. I've replaced that fuse and the tips are sticking out, so you can probe them. Makes it so much easier.
Yeah. Now not alone had we no air condition. We'd no two-way radio, which I'd live without that. But my God, the heat in this was incredible. 300 horsepower there, and the window was just on fire. So thanks to that, Mick.
They're the handy ones.
Yeah, well. So that's what you get when you work with a Sunday. So now it's time for
tips and tricks.
Just going to show you here the toolboxes that we have put here on the front of the tractors. We don't need a lot of weights on the tractors because you'd probably with 6 or 7 weights will do you when you're destoning. You don't want a big heavy weight on the front of it. So we've seen these James Larry chap down in Laois there. We picked them up. There are toolboxes in the middle here. So as you can see, very, very handy. Comes a little lip in here for putting maybe your small stuff, and then you can put your bigger stuff in here. Now, Sean has to fill his yet, but we might just tip over to Kaylem, sir. I imagine he has something in his. 1620 John B. John B has nothing in his either. John B probably says he doesn't need it. He won't be fixing it anyway, so he doesn't need it. He has his own toolbox, I see, in the cab, and we go to Kaylem's. Oh, look at in here, loads of little goodies in here. So he's his grease gun and a pull bar, sockets, probably has a hammer. I know there's a few other bits with him as well. Set his sockets there, and
should we get the focus on?
Yeah, I think swap that one across there, put that one yours. So look, they are very handy because, as we say, we don't need a lot of weights on the front of it. This one here has the front linkage on it, but they will go directly onto the weight carrier on any the 20 series or 30 series tractors there, even the 10 series there, and they just kind of fill out the weight there that you can kind of see. It's good to have some little bit of a vision there on the front of the tractor. So that's the toolboxes. So in this week's Where in the World, we have from Monaghan, Adam Flanagan, Bob O'Mara Laois, Enda Kinsella Wexford, Mossy Monaghan Galway, 07 Class Kilkenny, Anthony Lydon Mayo, Gabriel O'Toole Wicklow, Shane Lynch Clare, Adam Crowe Clare, Joseph Braham, County Down, Thomas McLaughlin, Donegal, Jack Crogan, Clare, Cam Mansell in New Zealand, and a shout out to Jack Power, Claire Murphy and Jack Hines, Johnny Farley, County Meath, Owen Clark Cavan, Conor Dolan, Tyrone, Linda Thompson from Manna, Simon Ferris in London, Nevin Kerry, from Kerry in London, Kieran Braham Bracken, I think in Kildare, David Murphy, Kerry, Sab Agri, Armagh, Conor Walsh, County Mayo, Kevin Curtin and Clare, David and Jim Ledbury in the UK, Caha Freehill from Fermanagh, Dan in Wicklow, Dylan Keane, Mayo, Colin McMahon, County Clare, Charlie Foy in Dublin, Matthew Murphy in Louth, Stephen Maloney, County Clare, Joe Wren, County Clare, Johnny Higgins, County Meath, Tom McLaughlin, County Down, Danny Rice, County Down, Terry Twait, I think, in County Tipperary, Patrick Gillen from Southampton, UK, Daniel and Patsy Gillen in Donegal, and Morgan, County Tipperary, Amy, I think it's a Moran from County Wexford, or Andy Moran from County Wexford, West Coast 59, Sligo, Fergus O'Brien, County Westmeath, Irish Tractor Focus in County Meath, Dermot Gary in County Clare, and Patrick Fogarty in Kilkenny. So I'd like to thank everyone for sending in their comments on where they were in the world. We'd everybody from County Meath, County Clare, we'd even guys from UK, we'd guys from Israel, we'd guys from Australia, and we'd guys from New Zealand. We put you all into a hat and we pulled out 3 of where in the world. We have from Australia, Nick Ennis. So Nick Ennis, this hat will be on your way. If you email to farmfinnegan@gmail.com, the address there, we'll post it out to you. From Scotland, we have Jake Gibson. So well done, Jake. There will be a Finnegan's hat on its way to you, so send in that address. And from County Clare, Stephen Maloney. We'd actually nobody from County Clare last week, and they all flooded in from County Clare. So well done, Stephen. Finnegan's hat will be on its way to you. So that's it from where in the world for a while. Still, you can put in your comments there where you are from in the world. We will appreciate that as well. So yeah, we're going to leave it for a while and we will get back to it maybe in a couple of weeks' time. That's it for this week's Workshop Wednesday. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos. It is free, guys, so just hit that subscribe button. And yeah, look it, we'll talk to you all next Wednesday.